Chubstep.
Jrad.
Creating the oil of judgment.
Steed. Chubstep.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the king of the jungle.
A shark ate your eye?
Yeah, it happened when I went down off the coast of Australia.
Your boat sank?
No. Not my boat. My boss's boat. Yeah, we hit this reef. You son of a bitch. Ran the whole coast.
Wait, the Great Barrier Reef?
You heard of it, huh? Smart lady.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
And the show started. Welcome back, season 2, episode 2. How much money have we made, Jared?
How much money?
Tell them how much money we've made already.
You want me to look?
Yeah, tell them how much money we made. I want the people to know.
I don't want to brag.
I want the people to know what they're bringing to the table by listening to the show. How much wealth they're giving us.
Yeah,
our increase of wealth.
Keep in mind that was from one episode.
One episode. Keep in mind, people.
Let's see if it shows up yet. I think it might need like a month to actually calculate it.
Oh, that's bullshit. They're ripping us off.
Yeah, no, it is not. It doesn't process. It does it by month. So it actually.
Okay. So
let's
they're
just
assume
us. At least $40,000.
They're dog walking us. This is ridiculous.
I think we're getting screwed. They're keeping
Rogan got
cash.
paid up front for Spotify.
Yeah. We'll just see what deal he got. See if we can work that same deal.
This is bullshit.
Yeah, we should be able to get that deal.
I already quit my job.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Okay, I think it'll still work out in the end. I think that's not a bad idea yet.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
Full-time Chubstep.
Yeah. But still only one episode a week. That's like 45 minutes long.
Yeah, I'm not doing more than that.
No, that's
if people have too much to listen to and watch.
I agree with that, actually.
Like, are we going to compete with a Marvel movie? No, we're not.
Yeah.
Whatever. Before we get into the topic, Jay, I saw a play last night.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about this play. What brings you to a play, Steed?
It was work.
A work play.
One of our customers was in the play.
That is interesting. And he wanted you to see it. He or she wanted you to see it.
Well, he mentioned it. He's like, I'm in this play. And we're like, all right, he's going to buy our stuff if we go see his play. Classic sales guy.
Got to support the customer, yeah.
Exactly. So we went and saw the play. It was called Bright Star.
Okay.
It was pretty good. Local, community, maybe
Sure.
like 200 seats in there. But I was sitting in the very back row, in the very middle. And there was like, the thing wasn't that tall. So I was like 2 feet from the ceiling, essentially.
Sure.
I'm in the middle. To my left, there's nothing. There's like nobody sitting on my left.
Okay.
And when actors at a local play start performing, instead of looking like directly into the crowd, they kind of look up and into the middle of the stage.
Yes.
So it was a very intimate performance for me because every actor on stage was staring directly into my eyes for 2.5 hours.
Whether they could see you or not. Yeah.
I think they could see me. It was not that dark in there.
Okay. Now, was there anybody you felt a connection with?
I did feel a connection with. She didn't have any speaking lines.
Yeah. Sometimes it's more what they don't say.
Yeah.
It says the most.
When she was dancing and stuff, she was, she was looking right at me, and I was too scared after the show to say anything.
So it was a she?
Well, there was girls in the play. It wasn't a one-man play. It was like
I just meant like I could have seen, the connection didn't have to be a female, I guess.
Yeah, the dudes weren't that yoked in this play.
It is disappointing.
The lead was supposedly a guy that just came back from World War II. That was the part he was playing.
Okay, I was going to say that could not have, that was not his real life persona.
No.
Okay, because that would have.
So, yeah.
But he was the Japanese guy that held out.
He was overweight.
Okay.
And I was like, you just came back from World War II? And my immersion was broken instantly.
So it's just he looked kind of pudgy. Like
he was not in World War II. He was maybe in World War II as a food tester.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say that, but it just broke my immersion.
There are no, and I get it. I've seen this in plays, I've seen it in TV shows and stuff. Casting is such a big thing.
Oh yeah. I mean, he had a
like,
good voice, but like so did the other. Like there was a husky boy
yeah.
and then a tall boy. That was the other two guys, and then one guy was in a wheelchair. But he could have done it.
He could have come back as like an injured veteran.
Yeah, that you know what? I would have been like, I get it.
Yeah,
I understand that.
yeah,
but
and that would have brought more awareness to kind of the horrors of war, if you will.
It would have.
Yeah.
It was you know what? Decent play. I'm gonna go see more plays. I liked them.
I would say I probably see one or two a year. There's ones I've really liked. Book of Mormon's phenomenal. The Harry Potter one that was going around, I think I told you about that. Was very impressive was it felt like it was watching a magic show. It was less about the actual content, but more about just the spectacle of it all, the spectacle.
I've seen Chris Angel Mind Freak, so
Chris Angel Mind Freak, exact same thing as the Harry Potter play.
It was basically this.
There's been, Hamilton classic early on.
I'm not
seeing by bashed on Hamilton without seeing it. I took all those things back. There's a lot of stuff. It is what's fun about a live show versus that is there can be stuff that goes wrong. It is more intimate. You do feel like somebody's staring at you. You feel like you can touch people, but you can't not supposed to touch them.
Don't touch them, even if they come in the aisles.
Even if they come in the aisles, even if they're hanging out outside after, that's kind of fun. Did you see him after, the guy that you knew?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw everybody. I was like, you were great. You were great out there.
Yeah, you were great out there.
The woman lead, I was like, you were fantastic.
Wow. Did they stay in character? Did anybody stay in character when they came out?
They broke character immediately.
Oh, that takes it away a little bit.
Yeah, because they were all doing Southern accents.
Okay.
And I would have liked to come out, yeah, hey, would you like the show?
Yeah. See, I thought you were gonna take like the World War II vet to one of the local what are those? The vet the VA. VA, yeah, you're gonna go to the VA together, have a drink.
Yeah. Hey brother, come on. And he's like, what's this thing in your hand? It's my iPhone, and he's all confused.
I just would have liked to see it a little more. Yeah, I like it. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it was good. I don't know. I've watched more plays than TV shows in the last month. So
okay.
Am I a Portland native? Yes, now I am.
It's official.
Now it's official.
That's official. That's official. Yeah. No, I love that. I love that for you, Steed.
No reason. I just like doing things like that.
But I'm going to talk about my entourage real quick, Steed.
Yeah.
This is really this is something I keep a list. I've kept this list on my phone for years.
Of your entourage?
Of what would my entourage would be if I were to be in an entourage and have people. Have I told you about this personally? I don't think
no, you haven't told me about your weird harem of dudes.
Okay, well, it's not just dudes. There's one girl in this.
Surprising. Okay.
The first one, and I'm gonna Google these people as we're talking here, so you can see a picture of them, because I didn't prep this all because I didn't know we we're gonna talk about this right now, because I'm surprising myself here. But this is a constantly evolving list that I spend way too much time thinking about of what my entourage would be. Number one, and this one's not going to change, is Chet Hanks.
Oh, Chet Hanks. He brings it to the table.
He's the best. Chet Hanks is the absolute best. I've met him briefly, but it was before I fully appreciated him.
Mm-hmm.
He used to be on Empire for a little bit. Jeff Morrow, he is a guy from Food Network. You ever seen this guy?
No, I don't like that pick.
Okay, Chicago guy, big sandwich guy, very silly personality.
What's he doing in your entourage? How's he going to get along with the Hanks boy?
Chet Hanks. Well, the interaction, certain people are going to get better with certain people. He's going to bring the food aspect. Teller from Penn and Teller.
Does he talk? He doesn't talk.
He's the one that doesn't talk. Now, in real life, he actually talks a little bit, but I feel like you got to have a wild card if a guy just does magic randomly.
Okay. I would have maybe obviously picked Chris Angel, Mind Freak.
Yeah, I think he's too much of a...
Him and Chet Hanks would get along.
Yeah. Florence Pugh would be the female that's in this group.
Okay.
She seems she seems
hot.
She's go with the flow. She seems like she'd be down to whatever. She's hanging out with the boys. I think she'd have no problem with that. I think there'd be a good dynamic with Chet Hanks where she'd kind of hate him, but they would kind of like be a
They
little
also
bit into
love
each other.
Okay.
Okay.
I will be. I'm texting Amy right now,
Okay.
just so you know about this.
Yeah, Amy's very aware of this updated this list. Carson Kressley, do you know
What?
him?
No, nobody
From,
knows him.
original Queer Eye for the Straight Guy.
Oh, all right.
Originally, but also now a big part of like RuPaul's Drag Race, and you see him all over the place. But he's
That was a good
very
show.
silly.
He's
Bringing a
bringing
little
the fashion.
fashion, exactly. Bringing the fashion to the thing. Jameis Winston.
Oh, Jameis Winston.
I think you gotta have.
You gotta have
Winston.
Jameis.
He's just a silly. just
he would be a great addition to the
sports
team
guy
and athleticism.
Yes. Okay, those are the solid ones, right? Now here's the ones that are pending, and I want to hear your feedback a little bit. One is Michael Bublé.
Oh, yeah. No, he's got enough star power to draw in the crowd.
Yes.
But he's not handsome enough to steal your girl.
The whole point is like these people are famous people. Florence Pugh's probably the most famous of these people, and they're famous enough that like, hey, they're fun to be around. We get a big stuff, but they're not like so insane that it's like, I got to worry out for paparazzi type of thing, right? So
I think
Bublé,
you'd have to worry if you assembled this crew.
And we know what we're getting into, right? Okay, so Bublé, Jack. See, this is where Jack Black I think is a little too famous. I think he could be a little bit over the top. He might take away some of my. We've talked about this as a wedding guest. I think he might take away some of my, like, if I'm just trying to hang out, he might be a little too much.
I think you cut him.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then the last one, I don't think you know this guy, OT Genesis.
I do not.
He's a rapper. I recently watched the Surreal Life season with him on it. He sings the song, I look real good today. I look real good today. You would know actually some of his.
Maybe if he's saying it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a couple songs he has that I like a lot, but he's very silly. From the same area that like Snoop Dogg was from, but now he's just like fun guy, but just like brings a different kind of vibe, right? We gotta have a little street cred. With other. Okay. So that's kind of my updated entourage. If people have feedback on that,
okay,
then we can talk about that more. But go ahead, email the show, chubstep.podcast. See who I'm missing, who I should remove from that list.
Yeah. My entourage real quick. Starts out with Kim Kardashian. Curveball into Kanye West.
Okay.
That's the Chet Weston Flores Pugh dynamic.
Okay, good. Yeah.
That we're looking for.
Yeah.
We're getting an Elon Musk in there.
Oh God.
Then we're getting a rabbi. Just any rabbi will do.
Okay.
Because we're gonna teach Kanye, we're gonna teach him love.
Okay, I like that. I like
then
that.
Once he comes back around, he's
entourage.
Gonna make some good music again.
Okay.
And then we're gonna get Akon. Because Akon and Kanye, they really gotta link up. I think that would be a good song. And let's see.
I feel like the only person you're missing is like Antonio Brown.
I was thinking Antonio Banderas.
Much better choice, actually.
And then we're good. And then we're going clubbing.
That is an insane group.
Now that's how you do it on.
The rabbi's going.
Rabbi's going clubbing, dude.
Okay,
he's there to spread the Torah.
I love it.
I think.
All right, perfect. All right, well, this topic that I brought up, Steed, I actually thought it was going to be a little easier to find more. I thought there'd been more crazy examples of things, but I got a few. So we're talking strikes,
drone strikes, Middle East.
How
do we stop them?
EMPs. We put EMPs. The drones can't fly anymore. They crash. Everybody's safe.
No, we're actually talking about strikes in baseball. What are the 7 cleanest baseball strikes you've ever seen?
What's the best ball to throw to get a strike?
Yes.
In the game of
what
American
are the best
baseball.
Strikes? What are the? No, we're talking about striking
in bowling
a nail with a hammer.
It's when you're bowling, you get all 10 pins down. A strike, baby. 3 strikes, it's a turkey.
Strikes. Top 10 strikes. No. What are we doing?
Strikes. Okay. Yes, strikes. I heard when I told Chubstep Nava we were doing this, he said he's going to strike Chubstep. Do a strike against Chubstep for doing
I
this
don't care.
episode.
We're rich now.
Exactly.
need
We
him.
don't need his money. As I said, do it. We talked about it being a little publicity of the show, all that kind of stuff. I'm all for it. So
Yeah, I've had Chubstep running on repeat ever since we started ads.
good.
I have 19
Good.
computers.
Yeah, I could. Okay. Here's one thing with strikes, dude. The first strike. Did you
We're
find
talking
this?
workers' strike.
Worker strikes. It could be
People are confused.
non-workers,
They're
but
at this
people.
point they're confused. They're like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, what are we actually talking
Working
about? Worker
guys.
strikes. Yes.
Yeah.
First example strikes. 1158 BC.
I got an earlier one.
Really?
I got an earlier one. Oh wait, BC.
Yeah, BC.
Okay.
I was like,
I
what
don't
is
think I got an
before
earlier
that?
one. I don't think I have an earlier.
Okay, because I was really going to be shocked if you found something that was before this. The Deir el Medina strikes. This is, of course, for the people that were working in Egypt in the Valley of Kings.
Yes.
During Ramses III. And this was basically the people building these tombs were not being fed like proper wheat rations, and people couldn't support their family with enough food. So they tried talking to them at first. Nobody was responding, so they go on strike.
And that's the worst when you email your boss like, "Hey, I don't have enough food to live."
Yeah.
And then
Well, you're
he's
getting
like,
paid in food essentially at the time. So
yeah, I don't know. Back in the day, they're like, "Here's money," and then you just bring that money and directly exchange it to a food guy.
Yeah, or you just get paid in food, right?
And then that guy,
There's a barter
what does he
system,
buy
so
with
it's a
his
barter
money? More food from other guys? I don't know.
And you trade the food for goods. I don't know.
I have no idea how the
Yeah, I
economy
don't.
used to work.
That's
in
a
Egypt.
separate thing about the old payment systems. But the point is, these guys go on strike. They're dying over building somebody else's grave, which is such a crazy concept.
Think Ramsey's cared? You don't care.
Like exactly, Ramsey don't give a shit. Yeah, no, he does give a shit if his tomb doesn't get done. But just like the fact that you have these pyramids and like the Taj Mahal and some of these things that are just like these gigantic tombs, and some of them like multiple people die.
Oh, it's way more than
something that just. Well, yeah, you're right. Thousands, sometimes people died. Yeah. Thousands, at least thousands of people in general have died building tombs, which are just to hold other people's bodies.
Yeah,
which is such a crazy concept. Yeah. It's just like, hey, I would put my body here, but you're gonna die to put my body there.
Yeah. That was a warranted strike. I'm gonna judge all these strikes warranted or not warranted.
Okay.
This one warranted. I'm putting a stamp on it. I need a Chubstep stamp.
Okay. Well, I've got a stamp in here somewhere.
This Chubstep?
It's not a Chubstep stamp, but it's Chubstep adjacent. It's a certified stamp.
Oh, yeah. That would be good. So my favorite strikes are the ones that just absolutely failed, because the guys that have the rats now just like on Randall Road. I never see strike things out here, but around Chicagoland, maybe they're probably more like union-y.
Sure.
Every time you drive for more than 20 minutes, you see one of these freaking rats up.
And I do want to talk about the rat.
It's like, okay, well, so I'm like, all right, these guys gotta cut it out. But back in the day, when people would strike, such as in like 1877 in Virginia, some railway workers, they went on strike because they got their pay cut 3 times in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if that happened now, yeah, people would be pissed.
Yeah, no kidding.
It would be that. I mean, it would just be absolutely outrageous, like cutting pay 3 times in it. Just keep it steady. What are you doing?
Yes.
I mean, 1877 though, you get new workers in, immigrants like from Ireland or something. They're like, fuck it, I'll do it for a potato. So they're getting cheaper work. Anyways, railway workers are like, all right, you can't cut our pay. So they're like, we're gonna strike.
Yeah.
And they striked in Maryland, New York, Pennsylvania, Illinois, and Missouri. This was a national strike for railway workers.
Okay. And
in Maryland, they were like, all right, we're going to bring the National Guard in. And then the National Guard's like, you guys better, leave. And they didn't leave. So the National Guard's like, well, then we're just going to shoot into this crowd.
Yeah.
Why they're just like, fuck it. They're not leaving. Time to shoot people. They killed 11, wounded 40. Over the next 2 days, they killed 40 striking workers, bayoneted workers. Like these guys, I guess, were coming up to him and they're just like, I hope you like getting a bayonet, which a bayonet's just a big knife attached to a gun.
Yes.
They killed 18 striking workers in St. Louis in this, 44 more in Pennsylvania, 30 in Chicago, 8 in New York. Over 200 people have been killed by police, National Guard, and federal soldiers.
Wow.
And did this? They lost. They lost this strike. Didn't even accomplish anything. They're just like, man, we got fucked up. I guess we're gonna have to go back to work.
Well, it's so crazy. This is like before cell phones and stuff, right? I mean, like this is like where
they
you're
had to mail to Pennsylvania. But we're going on strike, and then somebody had to ride a horse to Maryland.
So this I've been watching Gilded Age, which is on HBO, and it's a show about kind of turn of the century, super wealthy people in New York. And this guy's, it's all kind of fictional, but it's all based on real stuff. And he's got this thing and these people are protesting, and the same sort of thing happens where like all these people, they want, it's that 888 that people are talking about. It's like 8 hours of work, 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of, leisure. Yeah. Leisure, whatever. Leisure, idle hands make the devil's work type of thing, Steve. That's what I'm saying. You're not working, you're doing devil's work. So, they have the same sort of, they're protesting, and then all of a sudden the National Guard just lines up with guns, and then he's like, actually stop. But yeah, they were just about to shoot these people. So obviously this has happened in the past before, like you just pointed out. It's that is what I will say. The super nice thing about media and tech, as much as some technology sucks, and it sucks that everybody's got their cell phones all the time, all that kind of crap, except for when they're listening to Chubstep podcast.
That's a good
but the fact that you have the ability to record something, and there's no way this would happen nowadays.
Oh yeah, because the police can't be like, they were attacking us. It's like, no, you just shot at a crowd to make the crowd leave.
Yeah. Like it's just, it's crazy. And they didn't have rubber bullets in their muskets. That's a real bullet.
No.
They're just
so shooting. You know what? Things have gotten better.
I would agree. With a lot of this stuff, you know what? Stuff has gotten better.
Yeah.
The rat you're talking about, Steve. Scabby the rat. Scabby. You do see it all the time in the Chicago area.
Yeah.
It's a big union town. So it's a union thing that they put up when they think that somebody is violating kind of union. Either it can be sometimes when they're on strike, or it can be sometimes when a company is violating union rules, whether that be labor practices or like they're hiring non-union people.
Yeah. So just by hiring, so I was non-union when I worked.
Yes.
As a glass man.
Yeah.
So we'd go to jobs all over town.
Yeah.
And some of them would be like, there's a union entrance and a non-union entrance.
Oh my God.
And we'd be like, yeah, go fuck yourself.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Drive right through the union gate on purpose every single time.
Oh my God.
They'd have the rats up, not for us, but like for other people, we'd just drive right in. Nobody would say shit to us. We're obviously not union because we're the only douchebags without like 80 stickers on their hat that say like, I'm in union. I'm in union. I'm in union. Get over yourself. Freaking Tommies.
Yeah. Couple things with Scabby the rat real quick. Now we're talking strikes here.
Okay.
Scabby the rat. It has had issues with people saying that it is too scary. It's been legal.
It is a scary looking rat.
Yeah. So I used to drive past with Chubstep Amy. We used to drive past this thing. We called it Potato because it would scare her so much. We had to come up with a cute name that sounded like it wasn't what it was. But the thing is, it's just, why do they have these red eyes? I'll share my screen.
Big teeth, bloody teeth sometimes.
Yeah, it's like, yes, big. This is like, rats can be cute sometimes. This is not a cute rat.
I used to have pet rats.
Did you have pet rats?
Yeah. They were crawling my shirt and stuff. They were really nice. Well, one was mean. One
were they anti-union, or were they?
These ones were anti-union, my rats. So that's why I respect this thing even less.
Yeah. Here's a picture of a man that
I don't. He's a classic union guy.
Yeah.
I like how that article is just man stabs Teamster's rat. Yeah, good for him. in Chicago.
I love that.
Yeah, this
I
guy's
love that.
cool.
Just some guy comes up and just stabs it with a.
I
Oh
would
my
stab
God,
that
stabs it with a
shit.
knife. Yeah, it turns out that's the problem with inflatables. You can just stab them very
One,
easily.
you're blocking the sidewalk.
Yeah,
Two, like, I don't want to look at a giant rat.
I would agree with that.
Get over yourself.
Yeah.
How much money do they make for making those rats?
Ooh, yeah. Who's
What's
making
the
The
market?
rat
what's
company?
the market on rats?
I'll look that up while you keep going.
Okay, so because somebody's making money making these rats. These rats aren't for free.
So I found two. One is $450 for a 20-foot tall giant animal cartoon inflatable rat boss cartoon blow up inflatable mouse replica.
Okay.
The other one's $372 for inflatable rat scabby the rat giant inflatable union rat with blower LED. Ooh, blower LED. Wow.
I like the LED part. I haven't seen the one with lights. Okay, that doesn't seem unreasonable. That seems about right. Why don't we do Chubstep Union?
You can unionize and I'll bust it.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm going to show you one of my favorite unions here, or one of my favorite strikes here.
Okay.
This is the Dead Cat Strike.
A brewery worker with 22 years service was instantly dismissed following the finding of a dead cat in a vessel of beer. Oh my God. That's what the sign says.
That's what the sign says. This is from the 1920s. And this is from Norwich, England. So the story here was that there used to be, you had a rat problem. Speaking of rats, this is a bing bong here. There would be cats that would follow around and kill the rats.
Yeah.
So you would literally have to, cats used to have the purpose, instead of just being like, something that's in somebody's house that's making my wife sneeze because she's allergic, or that is, just like chasing laser pointers around. They used to have a purpose, which was killing rats inside factories.
Yeah, cats are awesome killers.
Yes. So they kill the rats well. But then you have a cat problem. And here's the cat problem, is that one time it got into this vat of beer, and they blamed some guy who had been at the brewery for 22 years. They fire him. And then the workers go on strike.
Okay, that seems warranted to me.
And they said, we're not, this guy's not to blame, or, he's had enough good years of service. This isn't worth firing him over. And they go on strike. They end up getting what they wanted, and the guy gets reinstated. And then, there you go.
How do you miss a cat in the beer hole?
I mean, I will say,
and the vat of beer,
on the side
you'd assume it would float.
It scares me a little bit because, why were they?
Was it open to the elements?
I'm concerned that these guys might not have been on top of their game.
And then, it's left unattended long enough for a cat to go in there, and cats can swim decent, so it would have to drown. That's going to take an hour.
Yeah.
And then some guy comes in, maybe 2 days later, and the cat is sunk.
Yeah.
I don't know. They should have a lid on it.
Yeah.
That's on him.
Sure. Do you approve of that?
What?
You approve of that?
I think it's funny, so that one's certified.
Okay.
I didn't certify the one I did where their wages got cut 3 times. I'm not going to certify that one.
You want a beer, dude?
Yeah, slip me one. I love a nice cold beer.
So I want to talk, which is the best part of strikes, and that is the strike breakers.
Oh, strike breakers. Okay.
So they, the rich guys would be like, we're not paying you your wages or whatever. Maybe Clark Rockefeller. Let's take him, for example. It's like, my boys are striking. Old Clarky rock nuts. He would come in and say, all right, well, I'm just going to hire strike breakers, some scabs back in the day.
Scabs. Okay. So okay. I was curious what the strike breaker was versus a scab. Yeah.
It's the same thing. But back in the day, in the old times, they were just assholes. Where people are like, we don't want to work the weekends, and we want to only work 8 hours a day, and we don't want kids to work. And they're like, oh, fine. We're just going to hire guys Jack Whitehead. He was the first king of strike breakers.
Okay.
So there was a bunch of strikes in, the 1890s and 1900s. And Jack Whitehead, he's like, I can make some fucking money off this. So he would organize teams of guys that would just go around the country. And when there's a strike, he'd send in his boys to work the factories. So the factory doesn't lose any money until the people on strike would lose all their money. and be like, fuck, we have to just work or else we are going to die.
So professional scabs. It was like a group of professional
The
scabs.
professional scabs. It was a thing. And then people saw that and they were like, all right, we're going to do the same thing. So he was like the first one that thought of this. And then they had all these strike breakers. And sometimes the strike breakers would just beat the shit out of people, strike guys. There was a strike in 1891. 10,000 coke oven operators and whatever. I don't know what a coke oven is. Something to do with mining.
Okay.
Or something. Coke fields. I have no clue. I didn't look it up. I don't care. I imagine it was cocaine. This was in Pennsylvania. They wanted better wages and an 8-hour workday. And Henry Clay Fick is like, go fuck yourself. Almost. Okay. So then they start negotiating. Ends up not working. 1,000 people just start going rampaging and they start smashing all the coke ovens, damaging railways. Governor orders National Guard troops in. We know what happens there. They just start shooting people.
Yeah.
Several men get killed. Yeah. This doesn't stop the strikes. They're like, we don't give a shit. So then Frick calls one of the strike breakers, like one of these organizations. Yeah. They bring 100 of the strike breakers in to just attack the strikers.
Oh my God.
They're like, National Guard just won't go beat the shit out of them. So he hires the strike breakers to just go beat the shit out of these guys.
So not only they're taking their jobs, but they're beating them up too.
Yeah.
Great.
So then April, May, yeah, so like 2 months go by and they're just like beat the shit out of, broke, no money, and they're like, fuck, we'll just go back to our jobs. And the strike did not work.
Now, some of them do work, but yeah, the couple of these ones, give your examples are not so good.
No, I'm just doing the ones that did not work at all. Most strikes do accomplish.
Well, I guess most of the strikes you hear about get something accomplished.
Yeah.
This one was successful, but I think this is the worst chant that I heard from any of them.
Oh,
I just hate the way this sounds. Hey,
sometimes
hey, Yunker, come out your bunker.
Hey, Yunker, come out your bunker. Hey, Yunker, come out your bunker.
Yeah.
Hey, Yunker, come out your bunker.
This had to do with the Service Employees SEIU Local 503 union.
Nobody knows what that is.
I know. But they were protesting their contract with the Department of Administration Services was running up, and they wanted to get it renewed. And there was one guy named John Yunker, who was the director of the Department of Administration Services, and they wanted him to, hey, come out, show your face, answer us type of thing. So they go, hey, Yunker, come out your bunker.
Hey, Yunker, come out your bunker. Hey, Yunker, come out your bunker.
I mean, it sounds, I just like, I get how it's catchy, it's stuck as the guy's name, but like, I just hate it.
Okay, I got one more. Okay, this one's, oh shit. All right, I'm certifying the one you did. I'm not certifying the one I did because they lost again.
Okay.
This one is my favorite one. 1981. This is a more recent strike.
Yeah.
Guess who's in president?
Reagan.
Reagan. It was Reagan. Good job. 1981, 12,000 air traffic controllers go on strike.
Ooh, that's scary.
Yeah. So they go on strike.
Not people you don't want working.
Height of summer traffic, 7,000 flights canceled. That's a lot of flights. They want more money, okay? They want more money. They don't want to work as much. They want a $10,000 pay increase across the board. It's going to cost the FAA $770 million.
Yep.
FAA offers $40 million. 13,000, 12, whatever. It's between 13 and 11.
Yeah.
They go on strike. Reagan comes in. He says, you are all fired if you don't go back to work. So out of the 13,000, 11,000 continue to strike.
Wow.
Reagan fires 11,000 air traffic controllers.
Oh my God.
He fired every single one.
Because they're government employees technically, right?
Yeah.
Is that what the deal is? Okay.
Yeah, they work for the FAA.
Yeah.
He fired every single one. Somehow they managed to bring 80% of the flights back on schedule.
That's crazy. Yeah.
The strike was a colossal failure. This one uncertified. These guys folded like a sack of potatoes.
I would have thought those
people
would be
lost their
hard guys
job.
to replace. I'm actually surprised that didn't like really hurt air traffic, just the travel in general.
I mean, this was in the 80s. So it's probably way less complicated. So it would probably be a lot easier to train
I don't know.
people.
I feel like it'd be harder back then. You don't have the technology to kind of help you out. It's still as many planes going, but the planes aren't as
You
fancy.
just say, you guys land. I feel like
You guys
back
figure
then
it
it was
out.
more on the pilot to like actually know how to navigate.
That's
Maybe
true,
I'm
but
wrong.
You can only see so much. You can only see so much.
You can only see so much, but you got a compass.
We got to get your brother. We got to Chubstep Greg to
Yeah.
talk if this even matters, if those guys even matter.
Yeah, he had a freaking iPad in his plane when I went with him.
Yeah.
They were just telling him where to go.
Yeah, he's watching Chubstep on YouTube while he's flying.
He does that sometimes.
Good. Good. Shout out Chubstep Greg. See, one quick, it's actually a more recent one. 2023 SAG-AFTRA strike.
Oh, the writers' strike.
Yep.
Yeah,
Do you know
that was
that?
annoying because I was like, freaking Hollywood guys. Hollywood? Like, why are you guys striking? But turns out like the lower level Hollywood guys don't make shit.
Yeah, it turns out it was really to help out kind of the everyday actor, I would say, right? This isn't going to affect
like writers,
the George Clooney's or the Scarlett Johansson's or the Ben Affleck's. Who was a part of this, helping out. But here's the nice thing: a lot of those kind of big name actors like Ben Affleck were part of the strike, and are actually trying to help out. That was Ben Affleck involved in the SAG-AFTRA strike. So
wow,
there you go.
Great.
All right, well, there we go. New episodes every Thursday. No, not every Thursday. It's once a week. New episodes once a week.
Yeah, when they come
It's
out.
not gonna be Thursday. We're recording this on a Friday.
It's Friday. Maybe next Thursday. I don't know.
Yeah,
we're rich now. We don't care.
Yeah. Actually, there's also found another article. Where the fuck is Ben Affleck? Striking actors aim their fury towards absent Hollywood A-lister in the SAG-AFTRA strike. So I actually found another article saying that he wasn't as involved as or nowhere to be seen. Apparently he was
fuck you. Why does he care?
Yeah. I don't know.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That they're like, why isn't Ben Affleck at this thing? Ben Affleck's like, I make enough money. I don't care.
Yeah.
I write my own movies. He wrote, what did he write?
Picket lines, but he was
Good Will Hunting with Matt Damon.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway. Share the episodes with a friend. Jrad Z 50% off Vita Coco First Order. YouTube, all that kind of stuff. Email the show, chubstep.podcast@gmail.com if there's new things you want us to get to. The show has ended. Be gone.
Now you know you got to go.
Peace. This is Yasin.